morning, family. This is Ricky, and welcome to Hope for Today. Happy Friday. What's that, you say? Where am I going to eat this weekend? There's an eatery here in town known as the Cliff House. The Cliff House is literally built upon a cliff here in the Coachella Valley. It's one of the great steakhouses of our local community. I'll probably have a bone-in ribeye, not too big, 12 ounces or so. It'll be thick cut, nice herb rubbed, a perfect medium rare. I'll probably have it Oscared, which is the fresh crab meat and the cream sauce on the top. I'll have some asparagus just to make it presentable. But when you go to the Cliff House, there's something called the Brussels sprouts. Oh my gosh, y'all, it's roasted to where the outside of the Brussels sprouts are crispy and salty and herby and spicy, but the inside is mushy and tender. They do some kind of teriyaki honey glaze with it, but there's thick cut pork belly that's been marinated in the honey sauce that's with the Brussels sprouts. Oh my gosh. Some days me and April go to the Cliff House just to have the Brussels sprouts and ice water. It is just that good. That has nothing of spiritual import. That has nothing to do with what I want to talk to you about today. That's just what I'm thinking about for this weekend. Have a good weekend. I want to talk to you about accountability. We're talking about David, 2 Samuel chapter 11 and 12, when he sins with Bathsheba. And man, this is the question I want to encourage you with. Who is your Nathan? God sends the prophet Nathan to hold David accountable to his sin. Because Nathan was there, David sees himself. He repents of his sin. He gets back in line with God, which is just a reminder, man, every last one of us need a Nathan, an accountability figure in our life. My accountability partner is Albert Tate. He knows all my junk, all my stuff, hears about it all the time. And because he's been in my life, I've been more close to Jesus than what I would have been without him in my life. And you need a Nathan. Chapter 12, verse 1, and going on down to verse 7, Nathan said to David, "You are the man." And then he goes on a litany of purpose and grace from God to help David get back in line with God. And he shows us three things that make up a good accountability partner. The first thing you need in an accountability partner is what I call the impressed factor. And what that means is that your accountability needs to be more impressed with God than they are impressed with you. Nathan doesn't care at all that David's a king. He says, "You are the man, you sinned against God." Translation, I care more about what God thinks than what you think. He's impressed with God. Second thing is what I call the purpose factor. If you look at this passage, Nathan goes on saying to David all of the things that God has called him to do. Translation, he knows how to repeat God's purposes for his life. Your accountability partner needs to be intimately aware with what God has called you to do. It's the purpose factor. But thirdly is what I call the grace factor. Verse 13, Nathan tells David, "And the Lord has put away your sin." Translation, even in this, David, there's still hope. You need accountability people who are not just there to just judge you and speak bad of you all the time. How many of you need more judgment in your life? I didn't think so. What we need is more grace. An accountability partner does not judge you and does not turn you to shame, but they turn you to Jesus and turn you to grace. Because David has a Nathan, his kingdom was saved. I wonder what will be saved if we incorporate Nathans into our own lives. Have a good weekend. Eat something good. That's hope for today. I'll see you next time.